I got a lot to say here. All right, first thing is, shout out to Mike Purcell. That is a great hair-beard combo. I don't know where he got that idea, but that is a great
That's what you
first of all. Second of all, I'll get into the Russ stuff, the numbers, and the disaster for them in a moment.
Yeah.
But I want to relay a story to the audience real quick. Because Wildes said, it's like you and I after a good segment, the high five thing. Sure. Wildes and I generally get along fantastically, get on each other's nerves a bit. But in our whole time working together, I think we've only gotten in a real argument once where like voices were raised.
Okay.
And I got to tell you something. I already respected you and liked you. I gained a little respect that when I got a little out of line with Wildes for the first time ever raised his voice back at me like, hey, calm down.
Don't
like that type of thing. I think it was a terrible look that when Purcell yelled at Russ was like,
oh, you wanted to fire back?
Yes! I want him to yell back. I don't want him to always be like in character. I want him to fire back. And that is one of the many reasons the Broncos are in the worst position of any team in the league moving forward. I would rather be the Texans than the Broncos. Because the Texans at least, hey, you're going to have the number one pick of the draft.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be a coach that wants to come in and coach that number one pick. Can we show the spot rack tweet about Russ and the Broncos? Because it's not great.
This is never great.
This is never great. Only $105 million left on Russell Wilson's contract, where the Broncos can take a $31 million dead money hit to move on from it. That's after 3 more years after this season. So how bad has Russell Wilson been? When I say he's been the worst quarterback in football, it's because he's been the worst quarterback in football that has not been benched or been injured. They are the lowest scoring team in the league, Greg. The defense continues to be quite good. Yesterday was one of the worst defensive games and was still good enough. I don't know what path forward. This is a team, Greg, that did not have back-to-back losing seasons for 47 years. From 1971 until 6 years ago, and now they've had 6 in a row. And they don't own their own picks. They're in a bad cap situation, and they have a broken quarterback. So I think it's the worst situation of any team in the league.
Oof. You've made a lot of takes, and I've agreed with you on a lot of different things. I think this is the one thing that I agree with you wholeheartedly when you talk about Russell Wilson and his lack of response. He showed me everything that I don't want in my leader.
You want him to fire back?
Everything that I don't. It wasn't about the fact that he didn't fire back. It was like he knew everything that was being said to him. I can't do that. I can't even live up to that right now. Even when you listen to him in his pressers, you have no faith in whatever he's saying or conveying to us as an audience. You do not think that he truly believes that. When you hear guys talk and you hear guys that are upset and you get upset at me on the field and I come and say everything he said was right. Like, yeah. The way that I say it lets any and everyone know that absolutely what he said was right. Oof. I'm disturbed. Russell Wilson looks like someone who's been defeated, that lost all confidence, and that does not believe that he can get it done. And I know he would never say it because nobody ever says that. But that is what it looks like, and that is what they're experiencing. And when your teammates that are not on your side of the ball start to challenge you.
So is that normal? How often does that happen? Because we see a lot of quarterbacks and wide receivers going at it, like, oh, that's something, or like the quarterback and maybe the offensive coordinator.
Line, yeah.
How often does the defense come over and talk to the quarterback? I feel like it doesn't get caught on camera. It
doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it's typically like, come on, man, let's go. I got you. Or it's one of the other of me coming to a defensive guy saying, if you didn't get it done, I got you.
Oh, that'd be nice.
But if the quarterback stands there, and I come off the field, you're the quarterback, and I say, let's go, man.
Okay.
Let's go make a play. And you stand there and you just look like
ahead.
this.
All right, I'm going to be the solution, Greg. You guys you're complaining, you got problems, you've got problems. Only one guy here with the solution. So I have 3 steps to a better Broncos. Number 1 for Russell Wilson. Blame it on Nathaniel Hackett. It's not Russell Wilson's fault, Nathaniel Hackett's fault. Can I show you a graphic on what the Broncos, I mean, granted, this looks like Nick's graphic that he just showed, but it's also Nathaniel Hackett. So it's not just Russ's last. Nathaniel Hackett has a last place offense. Passing touchdown, Nathaniel Hackett is in last place. Option number 2, kind of reason number 2. Belichickian press conference. You'd like this, Greg. You don't have to say anything up there. You're not under oath. Just say, hey, what did he say? Well, keep that, I don't know, he said something about football. You don't have to say anything. Don't talk about wristbands and Pete Carroll. Don't say anything. And finally, number 3, just run the ball a little bit. This is the meat and potatoes football reason. Rushing yards per carry. Josh Allen's at number 1. I don't need you to be out here like, Lamar. Marcus Mariota's 9. Derek Carr's 14. Man, just be better than Derek Carr. You're at 17, so just run a little bit more. So there you go. Blame Nathaniel Hackett, get a new coach. Don't say anything in the press conferences and run a little bit. Next thing you know,
yeah, that might help.
$250 million, worth it.
Yeah, that might help their image for a moment. Their issue is this. Everyone is going to blame Hackett, and they're going to fire Hackett.
Yeah.
This is the least attractive job of the half dozen or so that'll be open. You can't win the division because Mahomes is there. You can't you can't. You literally can't. Everybody thought this was the year. It doesn't matter. I don't mean to yell at you.
Yell back. Don't yell at me.
There you go.
I'll raise your voice at me on the middle of the segment.
There you go.
Don't touch me.
All right,
Stop laughing. The whole segment's ruined.
You gotta be mindful of what tree you bark on. Don't come this way. Stay over there.
I'm sorry.
You took back control of the show, though. There you go. You know what? Wildes made some great points. I like the petition.
It fell off the rails. I'll be honest with you. There's no doubt going to Dallas.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.